1988, end of 1988, okay, we had our new home at Bedok Reservoir, one of the block, the maisonette. Okay, before we shift in, okay, we went there, we started, we like a picnic we had in the house. Brothers were all helping to paint the house and all that. So that evening, we started off at 10 plus, okay, and then we ended almost at about 6, 7 o'clock. Then my little nephew, he needed to use the bathroom. So my sister-in-law brought him up, and all of a sudden we heard him screaming. So then we all rushed up and asked him, say, what happened? He said he saw a black shadow.
I really don't feel good. This is getting a...
Is anyone here? What did you find?
You are listening to Supernatural Confessions.
And that time we didn't shift in yet. So we thought maybe, a small boy, his imagination or, this thing. So we never thought anything about it. So when we shifted in, okay, I was the first to get sick in the house. Nothing, no cold, no cough, nothing. And I just had fever, very, very high fever. It was almost Christmas season. At the time I was working. So when I wanted to cook, I always do it in the midnight when my children are settled in and all that. So I started making tarts in the middle of the night. I was in the kitchen, and my kitchen, the doorway, okay, we had this like chicks, those beads, those nuts.
Beaded curtain.
As my back was towards the door. All of a sudden, I just hear the nuts like hitting each other. So then I said, oh, my husband must have came into the kitchen. So I turned around, I saw no one. It happened a few times like that. So, but I didn't think anything of it. I finished up with whatever I was doing and I went to sleep. Later on, my eldest daughter, she got sick. She was admitted to the hospital. And within that year, then I gave birth to my second daughter in that house. My second daughter was born, okay. We separated the two of them. I was sleeping in the other room. She was sleeping in the master bedroom with my husband. So because, don't want to disturb, the sleep. So every night when I wake up to feed my daughter, always feel as if like there's something at the stair landing, looking at me. I feel as if like there's something staring at me. So when I'm feeding her, I will always stare at the door to like hoping to see something, but don't know what it is. Eventually, she got sick, admitted to hospital. And within that year, we had a lot of all this thing, happening. She was admitted 8 times. My youngest baby infant daughter was admitted 6 times within that year. It was happening so often. My brother had a friend, okay, it's like a family friend, came to the house because he knew what was going on and all that. He is like a medium, so he came to the house and he looked the surroundings, of the house and all that. He said that our particular house, okay, is the gateway to the other side. So there's a lot of things that's passing through. He asked me whether I wanted to see. So he said whether I wanted to see. So I said, at first I was contemplating whether I wanted to see or not, because I want to know actually what it is, that is this thing. He said it's very, very ugly. It's very ugly. So he said, if you want, you go up with me. I will show it to you. So I said, I think about it, and then for some time, and I said, no, I don't think so. I want to know. I said, no, I don't want to know, because I'm staying in the house and I don't want to know that what I see is not something that I want to see, So he went upstairs, he came down and he said, there is in the master bedroom, bathroom. During that time, that year, okay, in between, my daughter, there was 1 year, because I was still working at the time. my husband and myself, we went to this dinner and dance. So I asked my brother-in-law to come and help babysit. So at that night when my brother-in-law came to help babysit, okay, my daughter, this one, was playing around. All of a sudden, went down, she crouched down on the settee, because mine is the wooden, the solid wooden, so you can see under, this thing. So she squat down and she looked under, and she called the godfather, like that one. She said, Papa, look, she said. And then she said, there. Then after later she said, ugly. Yeah. Then after later, then my brother-in-law stood up. At that moment when he stood up, he saw the curtain waving, moving. So that very same night, she had high fever. We had to bring her to the doctors, to the hospital, because it was in the middle of the night, about I think 2-3 o'clock. She straight away we had to bring her to the doctor's warded.
I think that time Papa also prayed, and then after that he
Yeah,
had a growl.
and then she heard yes, I remember.
Yeah.
He said he heard he started praying. Then he heard a growl.
Yeah.
Then on and off, this thing. And then we had prayers in the house. We had, we asked the, baby infant Jesus, we had the time. They came to the house. We left it in the house for like, I think 3 to 5 days or something like that. My husband and myself, okay, we started blessing the house. So we went around the house. He used the incense. I used the holy water and all that. Okay, after everything, I asked my husband, I said, did you feel anything? He said, yes, at the staircase landing. At that very moment when we stood going up the staircase, my hair stood. The same thing with my husband. Yeah, exactly. I'm telling you, my hair is standing. Yeah, at the lift, staircase landing. When the final time, when both my daughters were admitted at the same time, not at the same time. She admitted first. The 8th time she was admitted. I was in the hospital with her. The nurse came. She was preparing things and all that. I said, why, is there anything that she need, maybe, for her or what? She said, no, we are preparing to bring in another cot because your second daughter is coming in. Your daughter is downstairs. I said, what? My second daughter was admitted the same time, 2 days after her. Both of them in the hospital. So I told my husband, I said, after this, I said, I'm not going back to the house. I'm not going to bring my children back to the house. I went to my mother-in-law's house to stay. So then, from then on, we never went back to the house. Never went back to the house.
Because I remember seeing an old man. He was wearing those old-fashioned thin white t-shirt and long light blue pants. The striped light blue pants. I remember him walking behind something. I think it was like I can't remember. It was in between the dining area and the living room.
You said it was ugly. Can you recall?
This one wasn't ugly. This one was just an old man just walking.
Probably more than one there.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. Because it's a gateway,
Can be
so
anything.
a lot of things are passing through. Yeah.
Then what about the old lady opposite?
Oh, yes. So every night, every evening, actually, by 7 o'clock, okay, this lady on the opposite side, she's always staring, and she stands for hours just staring outside. So I don't know what she's looking at. So don't know whether she's looking into the house and seeing some things that is in my house, or because we don't close the curtain, you see. So every night, without fail, she's standing at the window in her on the opposite side, okay, looking into our direction. When all these things happened, I was just telling my husband, I said, should we just go opposite and ask her what she saw, what she's looking at?
Yeah.
Is she seeing anything that's in our house? Or, So every night, without fail, she's standing there, just looking at our direction.
Did you ask her in the end?
No.
Imagine mommy went there and there was no woman staying there.
Oh, yeah, that's worse. Because that time we had a helper.
But did you tell the helper?
No,
she
but
knew.
but she knew.
Oh,
Because she asked me one time after we shifted out, okay, she asked me, she said, Mom, is there something in the house? Then after I said, why? And then she said, no, nothing. I said, did you see? She said, yeah. Yeah. So I asked her to describe to me what she saw, but she refused to tell me. That's why whenever she's alone in the house, you see her singing very loudly. She's always singing so loud. She's singing, you know. So maybe she's hearing things and seeing things, or you know, and she's singing so loudly, yeah, just to make sure that, yeah.
We can talk about Nana's house though. That one was quite
Okay,
interesting.
that's my dad's mom's
Mother.
place. So after she passed away, the house was it was left empty for a few months, I think, because I just got married. So I kind of rented the room there, but I had the whole house to myself. There was one day I came home with my husband. It was quite late in the evening. He was still in the living room. I was in the kitchen. And then I heard my name, my full name being called out. When I heard my name, automatically I just turned around. Obviously, I wouldn't see anything because my husband is in the living room. So I thought someone was calling me from downstairs. I looked downstairs, no one was there. I didn't tell my husband. My husband was also a bit scared lah. You know? Yeah. That was the first one. The second thing was when I was about to sleep. Just as I was dozing off, I heard two men talking. I think one of them said, "Don't disturb her, she's sleeping." Then the other man said, "Never mind, it's okay." Then the other one said, No, she's sleeping, like that. And then after that, I guess I fell asleep.
And you
Yeah.
didn't tell about the door opening by itself?
Oh, yeah. The bedroom door opened on its own. Yeah, so I'm not, it was a different separate incident. I was alone at home and all of a sudden the door just opened up. And I had the light, the sensor light, you know, you have, when you move, it will turn on. But the thing is, this one, it kept turning on its own.
You remember
Yeah,
the
I
one you
had
saw
the-
the lady,
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
And
yeah,
then
yeah.
she
The
saw the
thing
same
is,
thing.
Same lady.
Yeah.
in the same house.
Same
Yeah.
house, yeah.
Okay, I kind of saw her first lah. So there was one day I was coming home. It was dark. I was walking into the kitchen. I just kind of saw this lady standing in between the fridge and the table. And the thing is, I saw her as an old lady with curly hair and a floral shirt and long pants.
But she didn't tell
But
us about
yeah,
that.
I didn't tell until later. But as I was blessing the house, when I came to that part, my hair all stood. Yeah.
So then it came to me. So we had to stay inside our Nana's house because we had the HIP program. So we had to
Yeah.
sleep in the place. So mommy and dad, my mom and dad, they slept in the master bedroom. And then I slept outside where there was a
the
big
living
mirror at
room.
the corner. I was like, okay, no, put the sofa there so I cannot see.
Yeah.
Just in case. And then she had snacks on the chair behind me and I was sleeping on the floor lah. And then
It was a plastic.
yeah, it was a plastic
yeah.
bag in a plastic bag with snacks inside. I was just sleeping. I was just like, I feel very uneasy. Then I kept hearing the plastic moving. Yeah. And at first I thought it was the aircon. You know, sometimes you know the aircon, but then it will be in intervals. So you will know like, okay, the same sound. But then after a while, it kept happening very, like, not very frequently. And sometimes you can hear as though like it's reaching into the bag to take things out. I said, this one doesn't sound very right. And then after that, straight away, I went and called. I said, Mommy, can sleep with me outside. I scared. And then I had the night light on the whole night, the whole time. And then I think the second last night that we were there, I had a dream. Yeah, and in the dream, I saw this lady with curly hair, with blue floral shirt and long pants standing at the kitchen.
And this one we didn't
Tell each
say
other.
anything.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's when I couldn't wake up. So I kept screaming for my mom. I said, I cannot wake up. I could hear myself like, just a bit of sound coming out, but I couldn't wake up. Then I told mommy, I couldn't wake up. Like she just wanted me to be in the dream. And then after that, a few months after that,
Yeah.
then I told her, said that I had that experience. Then we were just saying, I saw a lady. Then she said she also saw a lady.
And then we
And
started
then both of us,
describing
both of
the-
us like, okay, wait, we have to describe it at the same time to know that it's the same person.
Yeah.
So when both of us went curly hair, then she went curly hair. And then blue shirt with floral, I think, yeah, blue shirt with
and
floral.
long pants.
Yeah. So we knew already. But that time she moved out already,
Yeah.
so quite safe. Then Joshua also is another
no.
one. Most likely we think that he can
We
sense
can
or see things.
For clarity of audience, Joshua is.
Oh, my son. He's 2, almost 2.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
Tell
about
why.
Joshua.
Oh, why? Okay, because I bring him out to walk once in a while. So there was one time where I brought him out here, and then all he just went was, Papa. Then I was just like, because Papa, it can be our grandfather, or it can be our
My godfather.
my uncle lah.
Yeah.
So then he was just walking, then he just went, bye, and then he went, Carrie. And then I just looked around. It wasn't scary. I didn't feel like scared or anything. So I just turned around and I just say, where's Papa? And then he said, there. And then I walked back and then he said, there. And then I just came inside the house and I say, your son, huh?
This Papa, okay,
passed
has
on.
passed on.
Before
Yeah.
he was
Yeah.
born.
We showed him the photo and he pointed directly to my
Yeah,
grandfather.
and then he just went, Papa.
Yeah.
Even with our grandmother also, like we've never spoken to him about her, never showed him any photos.
Yeah.
I showed him one photo of her and then she just went, Nana.
Yeah, the thing is, before going to sleep, he can tell me. Sometimes he can wave and say bye,
Yeah.
and then he said that woman there,
Yeah.
woman there, or that man there. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I think he sees
Yeah.
family.
At night sometimes, because I show him the lights, the Hari Raya lights. So when I walked outside, so many times when I came back, she had to bless me. Because every time when he walk forward, he go, hi, uncle. And then I'll just be like, this fella again, ah. And then after that, I have to walk back. I just say, can you bless me?
I need to top up on this.
Yeah. So many times these few months, she has blessed me. Yeah, there was one time where three of us were
my
sitting
gosh.
there, and then after that
He was seated on the high chair.
Yeah.
So he was looking up, and I think he was offering food.
No, he was holding a pamphlet. Then he was like, see,
Oh yeah.
to nothing. And then me and her
Yeah.
just went like that. But then after that, when it left, I just felt like a peck on the cheek. And then I told her, say, I think it left already. Yeah. So
Yeah.
You see how many times Joshua, he points to the father's room.
Oh.
Woman.
Or woman.
Yeah.
yeah.
And
See
just
the woman.
recently, he kept saying monster,
Yeah, inside Daddy's
monster
room.
in daddy's room.
Yeah. Then you ask him how he looks like. Looks like the daddy. And then remember when I was sleeping next to y'all?
Oh yeah.
Because it's her, baby, and me. And then at the corner is the window. And then there was one night he was just like, hey, hit. Where? And then, hey, hit there. Then where? And I was like, you don't do this kind of thing to me. Like, please. Right next to me some more. This.
Use the correct word. Keras.
Yeah, keras. Yes. Very, very active. So even when you go inside the house, your mood is already down. You can feel like the place it's not bright. It's very dark and gloomy. Every time in the kitchen, I never liked the kitchen. There was one time where I opened the cupboard and I was cleaning the dishes and all that lah. And then suddenly all the containers just flew out like that. And I was like, okay. And my hair stood. At that moment, my hair stood. And then I saw a shadow like walk behind me. Then I was like, okay, I'm done. I just left everything. I cut all the stuff all around. I just said, okay, I'm done. Y'all go and clear up. And then every time at night also, I always get scared to go to the toilet because like you can sense that there's someone standing at the toilet. And also, then certain times you can see people walking from one room to the other room to another room. There was one day where I saw feet. I was walking past the room, I saw feet, and then I was just like, wait, there's nobody inside the room. And then I looked around to head count everyone. I said, no, everyone's outside. And then I turned around, there was no more. Then there was another time where I was sitting on the bed and the crucifix was on the light switch. And then I was just talking, and then suddenly the cross just flew towards me. And then I was like, this cannot be. Because I was like, if it fell down, it will fall down there. It just flew towards me, and then everyone was just like, okay, this was not like anything. It was not normal for it to just fly like that. So then we just left it as that. We didn't want to say anything because in the house. So in that house also, I had the same thing where at the doorway I heard someone say, she's sleeping, don't disturb her. So, and I didn't know that you had it until you told me also. Then I said, yeah, I also had that same
Oh, but I didn't
thing.
know you had it.
I had it in the same, in his house.
Oh.
Then like you can hear in the middle of the night like the wardrobe like knocking on the wardrobe and all that. Yeah. And I had nightmares. There was one time where, because when he has nightmares, he gets very violent. So there was one time where I stepped on the other bed because there were two beds. So I stepped on the other bed. And then in my dream, I saw this, it was like, you know, the Insidious, the in between, the blue color thing. I saw this lady crouching on him and just say, I'm gonna get him. And then after that, I said, there's nothing you can do. Straight away, I shouted at her. I woke up. I went down there. I prayed over him. I didn't care whether he was right. I prayed over him, and he was having a nightmare. I just said, I just kept on praying over him. Then after that, after a while, I can feel that like it calmed down. And then a few weeks later, he had a dream about her as well. Then I asked her, is the face? It was a very like longish face, like small eyes. It was a scary face lah. He said he also had a dream about her. And then again, I had a dream about her, and then she asked, do you want what I have? Like the powers, whatever powers you have. I said, no, of course I don't want. I said, I don't want to join you. And then after that, I woke up. So that house was very, very active because it was near the lift. So I feel like that was also like a little bit of a portal.
Bedok?
No, Choa Chu Kang. Yeah, Teck Whye area.
Also cemetery, yeah.
Yeah, I think down there also cemetery. I think it affects the people in the house.
Yeah.
So they get very aggressive, very temper flare. Yeah. So even when I stayed there, my temper was always on. I have a very good temperament. I don't get angry very easily. But when I was there, I always got angry with them. Like I was always very like uptight and all that. Yeah. So I kind of knew that it was the house now. Yeah. And the vibes, you can feel that it's very heavy. At one point, I could see like clouds of black clouds around it. Like, you know, it was so like dark that it was so bad as that. So I kind of knew that the house was just, or someone in the house was just not having good vibes. Yeah, I think I'm pretty sensitive to people's vibes. And every time when I went there, I had headache. Yeah, and I kept constantly praying. Like every day I'll be praying. And when I went there, I had headache. Every time, migraine. So I don't know what's up with the house now lah. It should be still at it lah. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's still affecting the people there.
Yeah, it still is.
You know?
But I mean,
I think it's affecting the people there, and then the people are feeding it.
yeah,
So
it's a cycle.
yeah.
I really don't feel
Like people that pass on, you have that kind of things around, and you have things that are never been born. You know. Those.
You are listening to Supernatural Confessions.